Hey everybody, and welcome to BrickVault. Today in front of us are 3 LEGO Minecraft sets sent to us from the LEGO group to do a review, so thanks a lot guys. We've got the Wool Farm, the Blaze Bridge, and the Creeper Mine. So I'm going to be going through these sets individually, talking about all of the features for the builds and all of the figs that have come out in each of the sets, any of the pieces that are exclusive to them or currently remain exclusive, what I think are my favorite bits and my least favorite bits. So yeah, this is going to be a fun review. I really like talking about Minecraft sets just because the theme works so incredibly well with the LEGO medium. So I think we might as well start big and work our way small. So first up here is the Creeper Mine set number 21155, 834 pieces, sells for $80 or €80. You guys can be the judge on what you think the appropriate price should generally be for a set like this. It comes with a couple of figs, lots of different mobs like always, and yeah, there's a lot of fun. There's one particular feature in this set that is very unique, not just to Minecraft, but just a unique sort of play feature that you don't see in LEGO sets in general. First, let's go through the figs, and then we'll get into the set itself. First up here is Steve. Yes, we get 1.5 million Steves. He isn't any different from any of the other versions of this character that we've had in the past. So let's just move on immediately. This is the Blacksmith. The Blacksmith actually has some pretty interesting features here. What I really like is back printing. That is something that we don't get very often. I think Alex has a tiny amount of back printing, but there's actually quite a bit of detail here, which is pretty uncommon for a Minecraft minifigure in general, and details all around are pretty good. It's just a unique player skin. I hope they keep doing more and more of this in the sets. If they could do a whole wave without Steves, I don't think anybody would actually be sad. Now we've got our third fig up here. This is unique just to this set. It is a husk, basically the desert zombie, I suppose. And right, we have a little bit of back printing again, which is nice. It's so simple though, and you know, these characters are that simple, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, just one of these guys. He's probably going to end up becoming a little bit more of an expensive collectible fig, just because this set is relatively expensive, and I think right now this is the only way to get him, is getting him in this set. So hopefully he comes out in other ones, because you only get one of these guys, and yeah. So that is one of the exclusive dudes, and then we've got a creeper, the same creeper that we've had in so many of the other sets. Still, the mold is nice. I know some people wanted the ability to have the legs move around. I think at this size, the minifig scale version of a creeper just wouldn't have made sense. So same old creeper and a same old cow, chocolate cow we've got. Yeah, decent build. Not really much of a space for the cow in this set contextually. This unit doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I suppose it's nice having a cow for sure. So the overall footprint of this build is decent, I would say. It's got a bit of width and length to it. It's actually decently wide, which is kind of nice. It's means there's quite a bit of space that you can travel between when it comes to the overall width, the overall length in it, and I think the main bit of this is supposed to be the, the mesa biome, I think. You can see some of the darker red dirt down here. We've got some desert stuff going on, and then there's bats hanging out on the inside here, so this is kind of like an inside area, cave kind of area. And a very large creeper shrine, creeper structure that serves a very interesting and strange purpose. Let me get into some of the other features first, because I actually kind of need to show you how these chests work first before I can get into the creeper. First of all, you got a little bit of redstone at the bottom there. Inside is some gold, at least for this particular chest, and it runs along the tracks on either side for, of course, going through the mine area. Not too difficult to move around there. There is a destruction function that's really well hidden. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about there. We've got a creeper hanging out. Let's say Steve of the Blacksmith triggers the creeper, and you see this is actually a trigger, actuator, whatever you want to call it. And it explodes. That one shot straight up in the air. It blows up a piece of the track, blows out a bit of this, which which is, you know, just a bit of stone, but it also works to cover up this little area right here, and it creates a little bit of extra pressure because you stud it into there with 4 studs, so you really have to kind of push those 4 off, and then it creates that extra bit of popping force right there at the end to make the creeper explosion actually look like an explosion instead of just something sliding up and out of the way. So that's a fun little function. It's pretty darn well hidden, which is nice. Let me zoom out a little bit. We've got a couple of printed signs, which is nice. I think this is the first set with printed signs, so that's kind of cool. Some vegetation here and there, a little bed. We've got an anvil and a furnace, and then coming into the second treasure chest, really. You move these banners up, and when you move the banners up, that allows for these handles to slide away. You couldn't see it before at that angle, but now, yeah, you can see that there's those plates. There's a little space opening, and it means it makes it so you can push the chest in and out. And on the inside of this, we've got some wheat here, some wheat in this chest, which I'm going to actually take out of that for now. So that's kind of interesting. They've done this in another set as well from the same wave, so that's just kind of a fun little play feature that they've added. This is a fun little sign. Of course, you can take out the diamond pickaxe if you like, and then we've got a destruction function down here. I think this is the second one, and I think there's 3. There's 3 main ones. So you saw the creeper one, and there's a little trigger. Actually, you can see the trigger here. This, of course, has to do with the TNT, and really, really simple. It's not that cool. It just blows out a single rock chunk like that, but it's something. It's just a little thing you can do, and of course, there's always the give and take of how easy it is to reset, balanced with how cool it looks when it blows up, because clearly if this blew into a bunch of little pieces, it would look a little cooler, but you couldn't reset it and blow it up over and over and over again as easily. So there's kind of a give and take. Personally, I think it would be cooler if it broke into a few more pieces, and I think that's actually how this one works. We've got the blacksmith hanging out. Maybe I should move blacksmith back a little bit. And the other trigger, you can see a little bit of the motion here is on the other side. It looks exactly the same. And that one looks a little nicer. The chunks are just smaller. TNT comes out, this breaks into a piece. We've got another one of these, and that actually works just a little bit better. You'll also notice that there are just a ton of different gold bits to be mined around this entire area. Just a huge concentration of gold. Lots of these pieces can be broken away or meant to be broken out, which is kind of nice. Lots of mining can happen in this area. It's a little ladder that leads up, but now I think it is time to focus on that main play feature that I mentioned in the beginning, which has to do with the creeper itself. So you can take the head off, you look inside, there's a little chute, a little area for you to be able to drop things down in here. This is a lock. You can actually see this opens and closes the actual the top for this area. Actually, let's move that creeper head forward. There we go. And when I move it over here, you can see the different just different levels. This is where you can flow items downward. It doesn't really do anything, but it just kind of looks cool. And I guess that's all it really needs. To do. It just needs to kind of look cool. And let me show you how that works. So we've got this. This is the chest full of gold. I'm going to replace it with the empty chest where there's nothing in there. Put it out here. This is a little open chute hole right there. And you can see the entire thing. I think I closed. I can't remember if I closed it off or not. Okay, I didn't close it off. And then ooh, yeah, it works pretty good. I think 1 or 2 fell out. Not too bad, though. It's just kind of a fun little process. You can zoom in a little bit. Let me show you. And yes, you can kind of see that a little bit easier. Now it's dropping it down as it goes. That's it. That's all it is. I dropped one on the floor, but that's not too bad. It's kind of a fun function. It doesn't serve much of a purpose other than hey, look, you can just drop some stuff down here, and it looks kind of cool as it falls. So there is that. It's kind of a fun function. Let me put everything back in order real quick. And for $80, this 834-piece set, I think in terms of ABS, just in terms of overall plastic, the price point kind of makes sense, though visually I think it's harder for people to buy into the higher price point, or for I would say the more standard price point for Minecraft sets, just because they're so blocky and they feel so simplified compared to a lot of more contemporary themes with lots of new, interesting, strange colors and weird shapes for windscreens and vehicle body shape pieces and stuff like that. Where this Minecraft is, for the most part, it kind of looks like an older generation of set. And I think because of that, it doesn't leave the same cool visual footprint that would justify the higher price point. This is, I think, a pretty justifiable $80 set, though I have heard people say it doesn't feel quite like that. It would have been cool to get another more exclusive fig in some way, shape, or form. That's basically the only thing I can really think of off the top of my head, but for the most part, it's actually a pretty solid large set for this wave. All right, this next build up here is the Blaze Bridge set number 21154, $30. Actually, €40. It's basically more expensive in other countries outside of the US, which is kind of unfortunate. I would say the price point is pretty darn reasonable within the States. 372 parts, great for part to price ratio, even though that's not a thing that people, serious people, really pay attention to quite as much. But even then, the actual size of the pieces here, the amount of ABS per part is, I still think, a pretty high ratio. So everything said and done, it's not too bad for what you're paying and what you get, at least in the States. And it comes with a few figs. There's actually two blazes. I only have one displayed here right now. I already put the other one in the collection. But yeah, there's two blazes in this set. Normally we've got Alex, a wither skeleton. And let's jump into the figs first. Here is Alex, all studded out in diamond armor with no diamond helmet, but got a diamond sword, diamond pickaxe. You know the deal. Would have been kind of cool to just go full diamond and just getting that helmet to top everything off, but pretty solid. We've seen Alex a million billion times. Let's move on. This is another wither skeleton. Not seen quite as often. Definitely a cool fig still. The long legs, I think, are still just a piece that belongs to this figure. You can't get that long leg piece, I think, any other way. Not totally sure. Pretty solid though. I do like these guys. Getting wither skeletons is always fun. And then this is the new version of the Blaze, and it's way better than the old version because you've got these two independently moving pieces, which is fun. It just kind of makes a little bit more sense for this figure. And there's actually two. I'm just not showing the second one off, but you do get two in this set, which is kind of cool. So yeah, pretty solid. And then I guess if you really want right now, you can actually see you get two of these as well in the set. You'll see them scattered about, but there are the flame pieces in case one of your characters catches on fire. It's a really fun piece. I've yet to see this used in a custom build like a mock or something for like a jet stream. I think it's just very difficult to incorporate this look with another type of non-Minecraft look, but it looks great when it comes to putting this on a fig. And now let's check out this little build itself. We've seen the Nether before, but it's still kind of a fun little area. I do like these kind of built up little semi-destroyed towers and or bridges, and for the most part it's not a bad little design. Right here in the front we've got a cauldron with water. Also over here is a little build for a brewing stand, which is kind of falling over on me, but yes, cauldron, water, brewing stand, couple of potions. Not bad here. On the other side, we've got some warts, some mushrooms down here, some mushrooms up here, and then this is kind of a different play function. I don't think they've done this particular action in a Minecraft set yet, which is Pretty basic. This is gravel, or it's supposed to be gravel with nothing underneath, which means when you step on it, it falls away. And that is done like this with this little animation. You pull this back, and the axle piece that runs through the little Technic holes here drops away, pulls back. You can see the axle coming out here, and that's that. It's a really, really basic function. Super, super simple, but nice. I just like that, you know, just a little bit more of the atmosphere from Minecraft is being built into the sets. It's not the coolest function ever. You know, if you lean it forward, it's gonna fall away. So it's something that you have to pay attention to when you're moving it around. There's that little blue pin, which, you know what, they make this piece, the half pin, half axle, in black, but Lego is so strict on function. You know, they say, okay, this piece is used, you know, like, oh, this piece in black will get used for some slightly different function. Let's do it in blue because technically, I don't know. They just do it like that. It doesn't really make sense because it just kind of draws the eye in a way that you don't really want. It's not really intended to draw the eye, but it does. Here's some quartz, some more fire. You saw the other little piece of fire over here. I do like this little bridge. And then there's another function. It's not a destruction function. It is for the blaze at the top. You can see the little spin wheel here. I like that it's not built in red. There's some friction, which is nice. Boom, boom, boom. That's about it. And it kind of works, especially when you, like, you know, you can move the head around, you can, like, spin it and stuff. Let me knock everything over as I do that. Yeah, fine. It's totally fine. It's just kind of a little motion function. Very, very strong, though. And then, just like the last set, you can see the handles are just wedged in there, and the treasure stays in place. We've got some diamonds, some gold. It's just 1x2 tiles molded in the sort of the pearly gold color. And what's under here? Glowstone, I think. It's just about everything. I think that's just about everything. I do like that this has got a nice little squishy bit back here. It kind of just keeps the resistance of this piece from sliding back naturally, so you don't accidentally just tilt this back a little bit or move it around in a very delicate way. And then the gravel function activates. This is the set from behind, not a whole heck of a lot of anything, and that is this little set. I think part to price ratio works pretty well. We get the figs that I think people wanted from this set, though in general, I would like to see a set that's got a main figure that isn't an Alex or a Steve. They have added extra guys outside of it, but, you know, no one would shed a tear. Okay, that's going to be it for this one. Let's move on to the last. The Wool Farm is, on the surface, one of the most simple looking sets that Minecraft has ever made, just about, just from looking at it. There's barely any height, like from the highest point before we get to this baby sheep shrine, there's almost no difference. There's a brick and a plate, and then what is this? This is brick, plate. It's like 2 bricks high, maybe 2 bricks and a plate high at the highest point before the little shrine. That's it for the entire land and water assembly, which is about as low as any sort of platform and or play area can get. So simple, especially on top of the Minecraft formation. I can get into the figs. You know what? I'm not even going to bother this time with the rotation table. You guys can see pretty well. We've got a red sheep, which I think is exclusive to this set. Same thing with the yellow sheep. So we've got red and yellow for the first time, and then baby sheep. Little baby sheep. The head molds are all the same. I can actually do some zooming in, so just so you can see a little bit closer what that looks like. There's some nice dotting on the nose, which is nice. So it's not just an incredibly simple print, though it's Minecraft and the prints are by design supposed to be pretty darn simple. See, Steve comes with some shears, and you can actually replace the little the 2x2 brick here with a tan one, so it looks like you've sheared the sheep and collected some wool, which is kind of nice. This is interesting because they're 1x2 plates. which doesn't fit into the Minecraft format because, you know, gravel stones or some kind of stones would be at least 2x2s to fit in with the blocky buildup of what Minecraft is. But I think they just wanted to add just a tiny bit of extra detailing here, so they made them 1x2s. The birch trees are kind of interesting. It's a fun little birch tree. This looks like it was a birch tree at some point. Nice little build for a fence. Birch tree is incredibly small, but you can still, oops, I moved that around and then I popped this off. But you can still see that the birch tree itself is still birch, because of the black little bits that are hanging out on the trunk, which is a pretty clear indicator of what it is. Now I've been avoiding the main bit of this build. I think actually in the picture we've got the baby sheep. Sorry, the baby sheep shrine. My thing is falling. There we go. It is normally, if I can do it without taking the legs off, normally facing this way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is this is the coolest part. This is on the surface the most simple thing, but it really isn't actually that simple. Look at this. Everything comes, even parts of it are coming apart when it shouldn't. It's modular in the best way possible. You can actually take apart most of this thing. It's built in, you know, 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x2s. This breaks apart in bigger pieces, and you've got other colors hidden on the inside because this can actually get built into different animals. Specifically, the ones that they suggest or the ones that they show off in this are a parrot and a, what is it? It's like a parrot and a, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, here's the build for the heart in the instructions, and then the final build for the parrot. There are actually some spare pieces that you can add to this that allow for all these final builds to take place, and this is the little tan piece that shows the sheared sheep, if that's what you want to do. So that is it for the final little build here. I think it also reasonable in terms of part to price. It's a little bit unique with this, which is kind of fun, and it also makes this just more fun to display as a final piece, just because we've got a unique baby sheep shrine, which is essentially what I think we're looking at here. In conclusion, Minecraft sets are fun. They've always been fun. I think that this wave that I'm reviewing right now, or these sets from this wave, are no different than the main idea and feel that we get from the LEGO design team in collaboration with Minecraft. This is also going to be great because I think these sets now finally complete the figs and mobs that we need to complete our updated Minecraft collection. So we'll probably have a Minecraft collection video coming down the line for you guys pretty darn soon. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.